Hello everyone, and welcome to our second episode of our Bizarre and Unusual World. If you would like to see the first episode of this series all about Sasquatch, be sure to click here or check the description below. In today's episode, I'm going to be traveling across the Atlantic, and we're going to be talking all about the Banshee. I was personally introduced to the Banshee at a young age through childhood legend and a TV show called So Weird. I've since found the legend to be super fascinating, and it's become a favorite creature of mine. And it also gives me another reason to travel across the Atlantic to its home roots. Today we will be covering the who, what, when, where, why, and how of the Banshee. We will start with the where. The mythology and the legend of the Banshee comes from Ireland and has been passed down through many different generations. While legends do vary, the whole lore of the Banshee comes from Irish heritage and several different parts of Ireland. Now on to the what. What is a banshee? A banshee, or a fairy woman, is a female spirit in Irish mythology that is said to predict the death of a loved one. Her shrieking cry is said to be very chilling and is to serve as a warning to the family members that death is about to come. Now, the banshee is described in a variety of ways. It kind of depends on which legend you're talking about, where you are in Ireland. She really does appear in a variety of ways. The banshee is mostly described as wearing green, black, or white with long, crazy hair. Her hair is most often described as red or orange, and long ago in medieval time, it was described to shimmer like wildfire. However, other legends describe her hair to be long gray or white. From there, one tale shows the banshee appearing as a crazy, ugly, terrifying old hag. In different versions, she appears as a beautiful young woman. In some tales, the figure that first appears to be a banshee later reveals herself to be an Irish goddess. In several versions of the Banshee, she is said to have bright red eyes from all of her crying. So really there is a variety to the myth on how she shows and presents herself, or perhaps she appears to people in different ways, depending on who they are or who their family is. In early legends of the Banshee, she was said to be the first to alert that a household had suffered from a death. In later versions, she instead appears before the death and acts as a warning, the wailing or shrieking predicting the death of a loved one. She is also said to predict danger if a certain occasion occurs. Perhaps someone is about to enter a dangerous situation where death will be the outcome. She can appear in those legends to wail or warn off of the risk ahead. It needs to be said that the Ireland Banshee does not cause death or kill anyone. She is simply there to warn the loved ones of death to come, and perhaps give the family time to prepare. Some even believe that the Banshee acts as an escort to be a guide to the afterlife for their loved one to safely arrive. Now for the when of the Banshee. When we think about the when, we do have to think of the generations and generations over centuries passing down legends, myths, and stories of this creature. Historians have traced the legend of the Banshee to the 8th century. This is based on a tradition where women would sing a sorrowful song after someone's death. These women were often referred to as sinners, and some suggest that this is their punishment, becoming a banshee for all eternity. Touching base on the women that could potentially become a banshee, let's go ahead and move on to the who of the banshee. Of course, we have no real way of knowing or describing the who of this mythological creature, but a lot of the legends and stories have hints or clues to who she might be. Perhaps the who is a specific woman that was brutally killed or died so horribly that she now watches over her loved ones and predicts death. Or perhaps she was a mother who died in childbirth. Or maybe these creatures are cursed to live this way, forever appearing in a ghostly form. While some legends of the Banshee are quite terrifying, not all of their motives are driven by hate. Some of these creatures are said to care and watch over their loved ones. And when they appear, they are beautiful and enchanting and will sing with a chilling warning. This song can be heard days before the suspected death of a loved one. Many of these legends, as I said, do repeat over and over that the Banshee is simply there to serve as a warning, and she's not there to cause any sort of harm. On the other side of things, we have the potential for an angry or hurt Banshee that could perhaps want to cause fear. These specific banshees are said to have had something horrible happen to them in their life, and now instead of looking after their loved ones, they take it out on the living by causing fear, mostly the fear of death. The screams from these legends are said to haunt the bravest of people. The who of the Banshee really does have so many different possibilities. We have so many different legends and so many different myths surrounding this creature, but a lot of people do believe that the Banshee follows a specific bloodline within Ireland. Of course, over the centuries, those bloodlines have been mixed, so the Banshee would follow a bigger group of people. So who is the Banshee? That's really hard to say. I guess it depends on which legend you are reading about. Now moving on to the how. In this section, we will be talking about how the Banshee has appeared to people in the past. One record of a Banshee appearance happened in 1649 by Anne Lady Fanshawe, an English memoirist. While staying in Cork, Ireland with her husband, Sir Richard Fanshawe, she awoke in the middle of the night and something didn't feel right. It was the couple's first night staying in the castle of Lady O'Brien. When Lady Fanshawe awoke, she was drawn towards the window for some reason. When she moved closer, she could see a woman with pale skin, red hair, and a white flowy dress. The woman called out, but then suddenly disappeared. The next morning, they would learn of one of the O'Brien cousins' deaths that same night. Other more modern tales speak of family members walking home one night and finding a woman crying on their way home. When trying to help her, she would simply cry out and then suddenly disappear without a trace. Others have reported seeing a ghostly figure floating over sick family members, and different people report just simply hearing the screech of the Banshee cry. Now on to the why of the Banshee. Why does she continue to warn of people's deaths? Is it to help certain families with specific Irish heritage? Is it to prepare them for deaths to come? Or does she really want to cause fear within those certain families? Is the Banshee simply another ghost story passed down through generations? There are many different whys or questions surrounding the Banshee, as there is with most ghost stories. When I personally heard about the Banshee, I liked the idea of her being a calming presence there simply to warn the family of a loss to come. I even perhaps liked the idea of them being an escort to the afterlife. Most of the legends that I heard did not describe the Banshee as a scary being, but more as just a ghostly figure there to warn people. So what do you guys think? Have you heard of the Ireland Banshee? And have you heard the legends of her just simply trying to help warn family members of death to come? Or have you heard the legends where she's a terrifying creature and wants only to cause fear? Do you believe in creatures like the Banshee? Thank you so much for watching episode 2 of our Bizarre and Unusual World. Be sure to give it a big like if you enjoyed this episode and subscribe for more content. As always, if you have any suggestions of a topic you would like me to cover in this series, feel free to comment or message me. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!